Shipwrecks happen due to mechanical problems, severe storms, human errors, or simply someone's lack of judgment. In this video, we will show you shocking moments at sea. Got your life vest? Let's dive in. It's a true miracle no one was injured when these workers miscalculated the weight capability of a crane. In panic and chaos, workers jumped from the sinking boat and into the water, miraculously making it to shore safely. Footage taken at a port in Taiwan shows workers fleeing for safety as a huge container vessel collides with a massive container crane, causing it to suddenly collapse. On May 10, 2019, the LNG carrier Genesis River collided with a tank barge. The collision breached cargo tanks, spilling petrochemicals and capsizing the barge. Here you can see the heart-stopping moment when two massive ships collide head-on in a catastrophic maritime accident.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
This footage shows the expensive collision involving two Carnival Cruise Line ships in Cozumel, Mexico. The cruise ship was in the process of docking when it collided with the already berthed cruise ship, causing a great deal of damage.
Don't ride on Carnival.
An Italian-flagged ro-ro passenger vessel suddenly collided with a loading crane in bad weather at the Barcelona port. The collision caused a huge blaze, which led to firefighters evacuating the area. Thankfully though, no one was injured. Ever had that awkward moment when you and someone else both stop because you don't know which way to go, and you end up walking into each other? Well, this is that exact moment, but with two huge ships. You definitely don't want to be in a tugboat during the launch of a literal combat ship. Here's why patience is key. Of all the places, this captain decides to crash exactly where two cars are parked. Recent rainfall in the area raised the water levels in the Savannah River, causing a barge to become dislodged and end up in a, well, very awkward position. During the running of the 37th annual Key West World Championship, one of the superboats crashed and came over the top of another.
medical on site.
Luckily, the driver and throttle man of both boats quickly reported to be okay.
And we'll see who comes out. This Geico is responding.
A huge ship coming straight towards you is definitely not what you expect to happen while out fishing. And here's footage of the dramatic moment cruise ship MCS Harmonia crashes when coming into dock in Honduras. While it might seem like the captain messed up, he was actually found not guilty and the accident was blamed on a mechanical failure. A supply vessel sank at the anchorage in Bangladesh after colliding with a larger ship. Remarkably though, the entire crew successfully escaped the sinking ship and were rescued by nearby vessels. Remember to always use strong, durable slings when lifting a boat. It's a small step that can prevent a big disaster like this.
Так это хорошо, еще не в рот, блядь. Ой, ой, ой! Ебать копать! Ебать копать! Зафиксируйте, блядь!
After losing control of their engine throttle, this gigantic cruise ship collided with a tourist riverboat on a crowded canal in Venice. Luckily, no one was seriously injured, but it could have ended up a lot worse. Here's why you shouldn't be close by when a big ship is launching. The ship in the video is the Ruben Lasker, a research vessel for NOAA Fisheries, launched 2012 at Marinette Marine in Wisconsin. As you can see, the cameraman did get a big hit, but luckily made it out rather unharmed. And here you can see the intense footage of the Miss Stacy tugboat battling against being sucked under a bridge. While the situation is getting more and more desperate, their savior suddenly comes to their rescue. It's a Morgan tug with an insanely skilled captain. His skillful maneuvering against the current, smoothly adjusting and tightening the cable, leaves a lasting impression, demonstrating the expertise of its skipper. Luckily, this guy was not injured, but please make sure to always drive responsibly. Ever witnessed the launch of an 80,000 BBL clean tanker from a shipyard? Get ready, because you're about to. If you're going out sailing, you better keep an eye out for super tankers. Apparently, they're really hard to spot.
Top mark, they're putting through for Austria in a second. As we look through a sea of sails, as we remember the rock stars.
I don't think so. It didn't work the last time, so it's going to back their advantage, stay where they are.
No matter how vast the sea may be, it's oddly common for collisions to occur, like with these huge tankers. On July 19, 2009, a tugboat capsized while making a turn near British Columbia's coast. The boat can be seen overturning, eventually with its belly up as the propellers are still turning. Miraculously, all 4 crew members survived. This is why you always have to keep your eyes open while out at sea. It's a miracle nobody was harmed when 2 yachts, one filled with tourists and another with partygoers, suddenly collided at a fast speed, leaving the smaller yacht in shambles. Check out the aftermath of cargo ship Reina Monrovia, which ran aground with a full load. Containers leaned precariously before sinking to the ocean floor along with the ship. Thankfully though, the crew was rescued in time. And here's why you shouldn't fall asleep at the bridge if you're the captain.
Nei, ring politi med en gang! Å, helvete.
Watch as this huge container ship, veering off course, unleashes havoc upon a hapless tow train during its journey through the Panama Canal in 2014. Fortunately, there were no injuries, but the train was, as you can see, completely crushed.
Yeah, you missed this. I filmed it. Look at the trolley over there. Look at that. It's being totally damaged.
At the Iskenderun port in Turkey, cargo ship Sea Eagle suddenly started tilting to starboard while unloading containers. Eventually, it was taking in water and overturned, causing containers to fall into the water. The accident resulted in millions of dollars in damage and disrupted port operations for a whole week. Luckily though, nobody was hurt. I think the Navy should have used more than one tugboat in order to save a badly listing ship off the coast of France. This has got to be the worst day ever for the captain. I hope the insurance covered it, or he's in big trouble. A drunk Russian captain aboard the 6,000-ton Seaground went full speed ahead into chaos, smashing into a yacht and then crashing into Busan's famous 500 billion-pound Guang'an Bridge. But here's the kicker. As authorities rushed in, the captain coolly declared, "No problem, no collision." Although it later turned out he was 3 times over the limit. Confiscated for drug running, this vessel was transformed into an underwater oasis by Volusia County in 2018, with 4 reef pyramids installed in its cargo bay. And now, it's a beloved dive site in the area. Isn't it amazing how something once used negatively can now serve a positive purpose? Here you can see the importance of loading properly, as this massive barge quickly sinks due to being overloaded with iron ore. And here's another massive barge snapping in two after being heavily overloaded. Just watch as one of the workers makes an impressive jump to safety. If you're going out drinking on a tiki barge, make sure the captain isn't partying with you. I hope there wasn't anything expensive in there. Two barges broke free along the Arkansas River and eventually struck the Oklahoma Dam, sinking in only a matter of seconds. Luckily, the integrity of the dam remained intact. And here's a launch of a massive ship in Germany gone wrong. As the stern began to move, the bow became stuck on the slipway. The high friction caused the ship to come to a halt, sloped on the slipway. Luckily though, the ship eventually made it into the water without any damage and no one was hurt. In this video, you can see the dramatic confrontation as the Sea Shepherd ship Bob Barker faces off against a Japanese whaling fleet in Antarctica's Southern Ocean Whale Sanctuary. The activists attempt to block the whaling fleet from refueling, but find themselves trapped between the large ship and a fuel tanker, resulting in a big collision. And who's at fault here? Let us know in the comments what you think. Although here I think it's pretty clear that the fishing vessel is at fault, as it manages to hit a sailing vessel despite clear visibility and several loud warnings. Large ships can create a suction effect as they move through the water, which can be hazardous for nearby smaller boats or swimmers. This suction effect occurs when the ship displaces water, causing it to be pulled towards the vessel. That's why you should always keep a safe distance from large ships and never make the same mistake this jet skier did. With incredible luck, he managed to escape unharmed, but I bet he'll never go anywhere near a big ship again. This is what can happen in rough seas if you have a quick loss of concentration.
Right, ready? Here we go.
Thankfully, they were both quickly saved by nearby onlookers.
Oh my god.
İnsanlar yok mu?
Chaos ensued on the Bosphorus Strait in Turkey as a cargo ship with its steering equipment malfunctioning crashed into a majestic $1 million waterfront mansion with a rich historical legacy, leaving a scene of devastation. Here, a tugboat is submerged by the sheer force of the cruise ship Norwegian Escape during its journey from the shipyard to the North Sea, showcasing the immense power generated by the liner. There's been a boating accident. Call the police. Oh wait, that is the police. And here's footage of a ferry ramming into a gate at the San Francisco Ferry Building. Passengers were caught off guard and flew down the stairs. The captain blamed the accident on a computer malfunction, although he wasn't at the helm. Despite the violent collision, luckily no serious injuries were reported except the concrete dock that was smashed to bits. There was a time when rogue waves were considered more of a seafaring legend rather than a scientific reality. Many scientists were skeptical about their existence because they seemed to defy the laws of physics. But then one day something happened that forced scientists to look again about their ideas of ocean waves. On New Year's Day 1995, a storm was brewing in the North Sea. The Dropner oil rig was 100 miles out in the harshest of weather, and the sensors were regularly reading waves of 12 meters, when suddenly, out of the blue, came a wave that was so high and so steep, scientists had thought it was impossible. A 26-meter wave hit the oil rig, and scientists began to accept that rogue waves were indeed a real phenomenon. In August 2001, the bulk carrier Windock approached Welland Canal Bridge 11 in Ontario. Despite signals indicating clearance, the bridge unexpectedly began descending as the ship passed through. The captain sounded alarms, halted the engines, and ordered evacuation. The bridge struck the wheelhouse, but thankfully there were no serious injuries. In 2019, a North Korean fishing boat collided with a Japanese fisheries agency vessel and sank near the coast of Japan. The Japanese rescued the crew, and later North Korea demanded compensation from Japan for the costly accident, but their demands were never answered. Heavy rainfall and hail struck this Chinese village, leading to 2 ships colliding with a bridge. Luckily, one of the vessels was an abandoned catering boat with no passengers on board. It's a wonder this man escaped with no injuries after a huge anchor dropped on his tugboat. In Guayaquil, Ecuador, a gray container ship collided with the gantry crane, striking it on its port side, causing the crane to topple over. On October 8, 2010 in South Australia, dramatic CCTV footage captures the shocking moment a colossal bulk carrier named Grand Rodosi crashes headlong into the side of the tuna boat Apollo S, crushing it completely. For these tourists, the so-called pleasure cruise suddenly turned into a chaos cruise after both engines failed in the River Thames in London. Fortunately, no injuries occurred, but the crane operator should clearly get more training before operating one ever again. Although it may appear as a catastrophic accident, this is actually a normal occurrence. The vessel in question is a log barge, designed specifically for transporting logs along coastlines. The logs are intentionally dumped into the water as part of the process to move them to mills or processing facilities. Log barges are usually capable of carrying around 240 tons, and it's an unbelievable sight when these vessels are fully loaded to capacity. How could they not have seen this coming? And here's another diver who could use a pair of glasses. If you're going to try and save a ship from crashing, make sure you don't sink another one in the process. A South Korean cargo vessel carrying 4,000 cars bound for the Middle East listed heavily off the coast of Georgia on September 8, 2019. After a while, it eventually overturned as spectators watched the unbelievable moment unfold. Thankfully though, the crew managed to be saved at the last moment by the US Coast Guard. Apparently, a computer malfunction caused this expensive yacht to crash right into a dock, not once, but twice. This is why ships use tugboats. You definitely don't want to be near the anchor chain when a massive ship like this is launched. This ship might look like it's sinking, but it's actually designed to go vertical. Upon docking, the captain of this container ship misjudged the harbor space, resulting in a collision with another vessel and millions of dollars in damage. During the escort trial, this tugboat unexpectedly veered sideways, nearly capsizing, indicating a failure in its assistance to the larger ship.
Wow, I can't believe it sucks the whole.
In this footage, you can see the departure of Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship from Port Everglades, Florida.
And those people are gonna get an interesting surprise in a minute. Here it comes. Now they're turning around. They're like, oh no, we're coming back.
As the ship navigates a narrow inlet, it draws water from the surrounding tidal areas, and when released, this water returns as a mini tsunami. In 2012, a cargo ship responsible for what's been labeled New Zealand's worst ever environmental disaster finally split in half and sank 3 months after it ran aground. Salvage crews did manage to remove hundreds of containers and much of the oil on board the vessel. However, a significant amount of oil spilled into the ocean, prompting numerous volunteers to search for and assist birds affected by the spill. In a dramatic clash, a futuristic anti-whaling powerboat, the Addie Gill, was sliced in two by a Japanese whaling vessel operated by activists from the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. The trimaran attempted to disrupt the annual hunt. Despite hurling stink bombs, the Addie Gill suffered catastrophic damage in an unprovoked collision with the Shonen Maru No. 2. Miraculously, the crew was rescued by the Bob Barker ship. This escalation in hostilities in the Antarctic seas marked the onset of a real whale war, with both sides accusing each other of dangerous behavior. And here is more shocking footage of yet another anti-whaling attack. The Sea Shepherd Conservation Society's fleet, armed with 3 ships, a helicopter, and 6 inflatables, confronts Japan's whaling armada of 4 vessels. A collision ensues in the Southern Ocean as the Bob Barker, a Sea Shepherd vessel, collides with the Japanese harpoon ship Yushin Maru No. 2, further escalating tensions in the icy waters. Let us know whose side you're on in the comments section down below. Don't click off yet. If you love our videos, subscribe now and hit that bell. And wait, there's more videos for you right here on the screen. Just click on the one that grabbed your interest and enjoy. See you there!